Hi there, I'm Stephen Lepitak, Executive Editor of The Drum, and this is the latest episode of Chip Shop Chat, where I talk to some of the entrants in this year's The Drum's Chip Shop Awards, the creative awards with no rules. Now, as we talk, the nominations have just been revealed in the last week, and so I'm going to speak to some of the nominees about some of the work that I think may catch the eye and where the ideas came from, because this is an awards that is entirely about celebrating creative ideas, which is why I think we all love it. So I am delighted to be joined by Tom Kennedy, who is a Senior Art Director at M&C Saatchi. Tom, welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, thank you. Can I ask, could you reveal the work that you have been nominated for at the Chip Shop Awards this year?
Sure. My ad for Carex, which is, I'm sure showing on screen now. It's basically in for the best use of honesty category.
Thank you for the direction for our editor there. I'm sure she'll put it in exactly where you said that. So can you tell me a bit about where did the idea come from to create this ad for Carex? As I say, we'll say up front, it's not a real advert for Carex. Carex. But where did the idea come from?
So it's kind of a shameless gag, really. It's opportunism at its best, but it came just before lockdown when everything was kind of flying off the shelves and no one could get soap for no money. And it was on WhatsApp talking with my brother, and we were kind of joking about it. And the kind of "we're rubbing our hands" line came about. But actually, the thing that kind of made it really interesting was the idea that Carex could potentially run that, and they could genuinely say that, and it would be. I don't think it would be too offensive. Like, I think it would be a fair thing to do. It would be, borderline for them, but it would be really interesting if they would, because ultimately it's just honesty. And I think that's the kind of beauty of the category in the Chip Shop Awards, but it's also the beauty of some of the ads that everyone relates to most, and kind of they lift that veil of commercialism between, the godlike status of brands where they don't have to, they're not allowed to say anything or do anything that's slightly controversial, and then suddenly they're kind of a little bit human when they're just purely honest. And for Carex, they went from a normal sales target of a year to probably running out of stock in a week. So it'd be really interesting if they actually put that out there.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm not sure if I'm recommending they do.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will be surprised if they post record profits this year.
Exactly. A marketing manager must be, on for a pay rise.
Did they have to do much? Well, that's not fair. Yes, they probably did. But what I think the reason why it caught my eye to talk to you about it was because I think it's a very strong representation of what the Chip Shop Awards are for me. It tells the story of something that's going on in society right now, but with tongue in cheek, and I think it does it in quite a subtle way as well. So the moment I saw it, I thought that is perfect for the Chip Shop Awards. So congratulations on being nominated.
Thank you.
I have no idea who the winners are in advance, so that's no giveaway.
Well, it's funny because I kind of I work a lot with Ben, who's obviously the chair of the thing, but I couldn't work with him on this one because that would be a bit insider trading-y, which is why I was talking to my brother about it. So this is actually his first advertising nomination, which is interesting because he doesn't work in advertising, so he's chuffed.
That is evidence that great ideas can come from anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool.
I mean, let me just touch on that point as well. When it comes to the Chip Shop Awards, what do you think it means for creatives like yourself working in the ad industry to get the opportunity to come up with these ideas and then actually produce something that you probably just wouldn't get the chance to do?
I think it's a really nice little reset and refract, as we all have to be so responsible and think through kind of so many lenses before we can put our ideas out there. And often the work that you put out is something that you're incredibly proud of, but you know what hurdles it had to jump to get to where it got. And I think what's interesting about the Chip Shop Awards is that you can always kind of put out not the first thought in a sense that it's your first thought, but the unedited thought in its kind of original state. So yeah, I think that's always quite fun. But what's also always interesting and scary about an open brief is usually the narrower the brief, the more kind of creative your answer is to it, because you're kind of breaking the confines of it. But when there are no confines, you end up looking for them. And that's probably why I went for the best use of honesty, because it kind of channeled the thinking so much.
Yeah, it's a whole different way of working, I guess, which a lot of people seem to love.
Totally.
So can I ask your advice as well then? We find ourselves in a very unusual situation this year, where we're all working in a very new way. Well, a lot of us are. What would be your advice for others in the creative sector right now, and how anything that you've experienced that you think could help them to do their jobs on a day-to-day basis? Have you got any advice for them?
Only really that the good stuff will come back. I think at the moment we're kind of waiting. I think all the things that everyone enjoys, like the macro levels of craft and the making things to this beautiful level and working with suppliers and kind of other people, they all feel slightly tailed off at the moment. We're doing bits and bobs with people, but we're having to kind of put things on hold. And I'm just looking forward to getting back to making. And I think, yeah, it's just reminding ourselves that it's going to come back, because at the moment, yeah, it's just a chain of emails and Zoom calls.
Well, I'm sure it's also a chance for people like yourself to see the world a little bit. Although confined, you can expand your horizons and read a bit more or find new creative sources.
Totally, yeah. We've been working on our kids' book, so I'm sure it's the millionth creative to write a kids' book, but we're going for that.
That is no bad thing. That sounds excellent. Well, Tom, good luck to you and your brother. Maybe I'll be seeing your names read out when we're announcing the winners in a couple. It's let me see where we're now in a few weeks' time, anyway. So good luck, and thank you for talking to me.
Cheers. No, thank you for your time.
And thank you to you, the viewer, for joining yet another Chip Shop chat. As I say, the Chip Shop Awards, the winners will be announced in the next few weeks. So keep an eye on the website for when we'll be revealing when the award ceremony will be taking place, which in itself will be an experience, I'm sure. So take care out there.